All right, let's talk about AI. Not just the cool, futuristic stuff, but something you can actually use today to make your business run smarter. We're going to build a blueprint for AI that goes beyond basic automation and starts making real, intelligent decisions. This is all about creating workflows that can adapt and change, and it could totally transform how you operate. Ready? Let's dive in.
Okay, let's paint a picture. Imagine a loyal, top-tier customer, the kind you really value, sends you a message. It's an urgent safety concern about one of your products. Yikes. At the exact same time, some random person asks a basic question about shipping. Now here's the real question. Does your automation treat both of these people exactly the same? If the answer is yes, well, that automation might actually be hurting your business more than it's helping.
And here's why that's a problem. The truth is, any workflow that's actually valuable to your business cannot follow the same path every single time. It just can't. A one-size-fits-all approach completely falls apart when you're dealing with inputs that are worlds apart.
I mean, think about it. A safety concern, that needs to go to a human like right now. A simple product question? Sure, an automated response is probably fine. An urgent request from a VIP customer, that needs to jump to the front of the line way ahead of a routine query. See, this is where conditional logic comes in. It's basically the brain of your system. It's what turns dumb, simple automation into a truly intelligent workflow that can tell the difference and do the right thing.
Okay, so you're probably thinking, great, but how do I build this intelligence without creating a total nightmare of complexity? Well, it all boils down to one fundamental pattern, and it's so simple. But trust me on this, if you remember this one blueprint, it's the key to everything we're about to talk about.
And here it is, just 3 steps, that's it. Step 1. AI analysis. This is where the AI does the thinking. It reads the email, figures out the sentiment, the intent, what it's all about. Step 2, the decision point. Think of this as the traffic cop. It takes the analysis from the AI and says, okay, you go this way, you go that way, it just routes the traffic. And finally, step 3, action. This is where the work actually gets done. Escalate to a human, send an automated reply, whatever the right path is. So remember it, analysis, decision, action.
Okay, the key insight here, the thing that makes this whole pattern so powerful is this idea of separation of concerns. It sounds fancy, but it's simple. Let the AI do one thing and one thing only, analyze. And let the decision point do one thing, route. Why is this such a big deal? Because it makes your entire system a breeze to maintain. Let's say your business rules change. Maybe today you decide to escalate anything with a confidence score below 75%. You just tweak that one little decision point. You don't have to touch the AI model at all. It's clean, it's simple, and believe me, it will save you so many headaches down the line.
And this brings us to what I call the golden rule. Seriously, if you take one thing away from this, let it be this. Burn this into your brain. If you ever find yourself writing a bunch of complicated if this, then that, unless this other thing logic inside a decision point, just stop. You're going down the wrong path. All that complex thinking belongs in the AI analysis step. The decision point should be dumb. Its only job is pure, simple routing. Following this one rule will prevent you from accidentally building a monster of a system that nobody can ever update.
Okay, so we've got our golden rule. Now, what are the actual tools we can use to build these clean, simple decision points? Let's break down the building blocks you'll be using.
First up, the most basic tool in your toolbox, the binary decision. It's just a simple yes or no question. For example, is the user asking for a refund? If yes, go down path A. If no, path B. That's it. These are awesome because they're super low risk. There's no gray area, no ambiguity. It either is or it isn't.
Next, we've got multi-way decisions. This is your go-to when your AI gives you a clear category, like sentiment. So the message comes in, the AI says it's negative, and boom, it goes down the negative path, or neutral or positive. The big tip here, though, is to keep the number of options small. 3 or 4 is the sweet spot. Once you start getting more than that, your workflow just gets way too complicated to manage and test.
And the third type is the threshold decision. This is for when your AI gives you a number, not a word. A great example is a confidence score. So you can set up rules like, hey, if the confidence is over 80%, let it go through automatically. If it's between 50 and 80, maybe flag it for a quick human review. And anything below 50, escalate it immediately. And here's a pro tip, whatever you do, don't hard code those numbers into your system. Put them in a config file somewhere so you can easily change them later without calling a developer.
So here's a quick cheat sheet to pull it all together. Binary, yes-no decisions. Super simple, great for basic gates. Multi-category, perfect for classifying things like sentiment or intent. Thresholds,
They give you that extra bit of nuance for things like confidence scores or priority levels. Now, you can string these together into what's called a sequential tree, but just be careful. The complexity can get out of hand really, really fast.
And speaking of complexity, that brings me to the stuff that goes wrong. There are four big mistakes that I see people make over and over again that just completely derail these kinds of projects.
So let's walk through these 4 pitfalls. Think of this section as your guide to not messing this up. If you know what to look out for, you can avoid a ton of cost and frustration later on. All right, mistake number 1, treating confidence like it's certainty. The AI tells you it's 92% sure, and you think, awesome, 92%. But hang on, that means there's an 8% chance it's flat out wrong. Now, if we're just tagging photos, who cares? But for a high-stakes business decision, an 8% error rate is a massive risk. The solution is to embrace the uncertainty. Use those thresholds we talked about. High confidence, automate it. Medium, get a human to glance at it. Low, escalate.
Mistake number 2 is what I call the decision monster. This is when you create one single decision point that has like 10 or more different branches coming out of it. Just imagine trying to test and maintain that thing. You can't. It's impossible. Your whole system becomes incredibly fragile. The answer? Break it down. Instead of one giant, scary decision point, use a series of 2 or 3 much simpler ones.
Pitfall number 3. This one's a classic programmer's nightmare. The endless nested if-else chain. You know the one. If the user is a VIP, and the request is urgent, and the moon is in the 3rd quarter, then do this. It's a total mess, a nightmare to update or debug. The solution, again, is to separate the logic. Use multiple, clean decision points. Or, if you want to get really fancy, use something called a rules engine, where all that business logic is just simple configuration, not a tangled web of code.
And the last mistake is maybe the most dangerous because it's so sneaky: silent failures. Here's how it happens. Your decision needs 3 pieces of info to work correctly, but for some reason, one of them is missing. The system doesn't crash. It just assumes that missing piece is false and quietly sends the customer down the totally wrong path. No alarm bells, no warnings. So the fix is critical. You must validate your data before you make a decision. Check that you have everything you need, and if you don't, have a specific error path ready to catch it.
Okay, we've covered the core blueprint, the tools you can use, and the big mistakes to avoid. So now let's bring it all together and talk about the payoff. How we turn all this smart logic into something that feels truly intelligent and personal for your users.
So as you start building, just keep these key takeaways in mind. It's like a final checklist. 1. Make sure every decision point has one and only one job. 2. Limit the outcomes to just a few per decision. 3. Remember the golden rule. Separate the AI's analysis from the workflow's routing. 4. Keep your decision trees short and simple to avoid complexity. And finally, and I cannot stress this enough, test every single possible path. Your future self will thank you.
Because here's the next level. This is where it gets really powerful. The best workflows don't just look at the single message that just came in. They use context. They know this is a VIP customer. They know this person has contacted you 3 times this week. They know this user prefers to get updates via email, not text. When you start routing based on that kind of context, that's when you can deliver truly personalized experiences at scale. And that's how you make every single customer feel like you get them.
So look, your AI, your systems, they have the data. They have all this information. The real question is, are you going to give them the wisdom to actually act on it? By following these principles, you can. You can take your workflows from just being simple automations to being truly intelligent systems that create incredible value for your business.